Hello, everyone, and welcome to UCLA Health's Integrative Medicine Collaborative. My name is Julie, and I'm here to be your guide today. And today we're going to practice on the mat. So again, today's practice will be specifically for practicing on the mat. If you're just signing on and you're not able to practice on the mat, practice on the chair. If there are poses that you are not able to do, then you imagine that you are doing them using your imagination, and your focus will oftentimes have the same result. So we're going to start by coming on to our backs with the knees bent. And the heels are not quite at the glutes, but they're lined up with the glutes. Let's turn the palms down in an upside down V shape with the palms to the earth. If you're seated in the chair, you can practice this as well, seated with the hands resting on the thighs. And if you're lying on the mat, tuck the chin to the chest so you get a sense of lengthening in the back of the neck. If you're seated on the chair, press the hips into the chair. Feet firmly pressing into the earth. So you're not applying pressure. You're not applying too much pressure. It's just the right amount of effort. And we're using this posture to help us center, to help us arrive to the practice today. Notice we come into stillness and quiet before we begin. And from here, bring your awareness to the unassisted quality of the breath. Place one hand on the abdominal region and one hand on the chest. This abdominal breathing is oftentimes easier to find when you're lying on the mat. With your inhale, the belly comes away from the spine. With the exhale, the belly pulls back, keeping the breath from initiating in the chest and inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. Also using touch. Choose a rhythm and a pace that you can maintain. We'll be here for about 30 seconds or so. And let's practice extending the exhale here. Inhale through the nostrils and side out through the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Two more like that. Inhale and exhale. Last one on your own. Let the hands rest on the side of the chair or with the hands to the earth. We're going to come into a wider stance here, separating the feet. So if you're on the chair, the feet are wider than the hips. And if you're on the mat, the feet are about as wide as the mat. Inhale to center and exhale, take your knees toward the right. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, knees to the left. Continue on your own. And let's add the head and the neck here, moving in the opposite direction of the knees. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees drop to one side, head comes to the opposite. Continue on your own. So if you're lying on the mat, you're getting this really nice sensation of rocking out the low back. The next time the knees come to the right, we're going to hold the pose. Turning the head toward the left. If you're on the mat, bringing the left ear toward the mat. Breathing in and out. So here, really important not to exceed your edge. If you're on the chair, stay as you are. If you're on the mat, option to bring the right foot to the left thigh, getting a sense of lengthening in the left hip flexor. Make sure that right foot is flexed to protect the knee. And we'll hold this pose as we breathe in and out. So this is a release not just for the hip flexor and the hip. It's also a twist. Breathing. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, unwind as you come back through to the center. And let's windshield wipe again to the opposite side. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees left, head right. Inhale, center. And exhale, opposite side. Continue on your own. Feeling the support of the chair if you're seated. Feeling the support of the mat and the earth if you're on the ground. And the next time the knees come to the left, we're going to hold the pose. So you have a zigzag shape in the legs. If you're on the chair, hold the pose. Turn the head toward the right. And if you're on the mat, try to bring that right ear toward the floor. You can stay here, which is good, or you can bring that left foot to the right thigh, flexing the left foot. We'll be here for about 3 or 4 inhales and exhales. Make sure that you are breathing abdominally through the nostrils. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, unwind and come back through to the center. If you're sitting in the chair, inhale, lift the arms, and exhale, come to a fold. If you're on the mat, bring the knees up on top of the hips and grab onto the hamstrings. Keep the chin tucked to the chest. The upper body stays on the mat. Breathing in and out in either a reclining or seated fold. If you're seated, tuck the chin to the chest as you slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. If you're lying on the mat, keep the right leg where it is and extend the left leg, flexing the left foot. Hands are clasped behind the right thigh. And if you're on the chair, lift the right foot off of the ground and bring this right knee toward the right armpit. Again, clasping behind the thigh. Let's rotate this right ankle left and right, right and left. And now come into a hold. You can stay where you are or maybe grab onto the shin. Remember, if you feel any pain or discomfort, you've exceeded your edge. So this is a great pose to start your morning with as you're lying in bed. Make sure you are breathing. Every exhale, releasing muscle tension. Take a deep inhale here and exhale completely. Inhale. And extend that right leg long or bring the right foot to the mat if you're seated in the chair. Let's compare right hip to left, left hip to right without judgment words, but with kind, compassionate, descriptive words like longer, shorter, tighter, warmer, denser. Let's go to the other side now. If you're on the chair, lift the left foot off of the ground, grab onto the hamstring. If you're lying on the ground, bring the hands behind the left ham. Keep the chin tucked to the chest. Wherever you are, let's rotate the left ankle, left and right, right and left. And now come into a hold. Maybe grabbing for the shin, maybe not. Keep that right foot active. Again, 3 or 4 deep inhales and exhales here. Reminding the muscles of their elasticity. If you're on the chair, with your next exhale, slowly release the left foot to the ground. And if you're on the mat, keep the left leg where it is and bring the right knee on top of the hip. If you're in the chair, inhale, reach up, and exhale, follow the breath down as you fold. And if you're on the mat, grab onto the hamstrings or the shins. And here you have the option of lifting the chin up toward the ceiling, or maybe bringing the forehead toward the knee, shoulders soft, tongue releases. Again, if you're on the chair, folding forward, maybe coming a little deeper with that joining of the breath to movement. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, keep the knees bent if you're on the mat and bring the feet down. If you're on the chair, tuck the chin to the chest and slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. If you're on the mat, bring the hands to the floor, upside down V shape, palms to the earth. On the chair or on the floor, we're going to let this right knee come away from center. If you're on the chair, try to bring the outer edge of the right foot down to the mat. And if you're on the mat, you want to make sure that left hip isn't coming up. You want to flatten out that low back as you can. You can stay here, which is good. Or maybe flex that right foot and bring it to the left thigh. We'll be here for 5 deep inhales and exhales. Again, today's series is for hip and low back. Try to flatten out that low lumbar if you're lying on the mat. Take a deep inhale here. And exhale, extended, 4, 3, 2, 1. With your next inhale, bring the leg back to neutral. And let's shake out this right leg, right hip. Give it some good shakes, some good releases here. And now drop the right foot down. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, let that left knee come away from center. Again, that right hip is staying on the ground, and usually we're tighter on one side than we are on the other. Just notice, is the right hip tighter or the left? If you're on the chair, you have the outer edge of the left foot to the ground. You can stay here breathing, which is good. Or you can flex that left foot and bring it to the right thigh, which is also good. And breathe. Again, about 5 inhales and exhales here. Left foot flex. Tongue releases, roof of mouth. Take a deep inhale here. And extend the exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling. And exhaling, release the left leg and shake it. Shake the leg, the foot, the hip. Shake, shake, shake. Keeping the knees bent if you're on the mat, heels are to the earth. And if you're on the chair, coming into the seat, toward the front of the seat. We're going to practice a twist here toward the right. So if you're in the chair, wide-legged, neutral, or crossing right ankle over left, right knee over left. If you're on the mat, extend the left leg, keep the left foot flexed, and bring the right toe to the left knee. With your inhale, lift the arms up above chair or floor. And with your exhale, we're going to twist. So if you're on the chair, you're going to twist toward the right, bringing the right ear toward the right shoulder. And if you're on the mat, that right arm is to the earth, the left hand to right thigh, bringing that left knee toward the earth. Twisting is so good for the spine, and we so rarely do it. Make sure you're breathing. Make sure you're not shying away from your edge. You're also not exceeding it. Breathing. Take a deep inhale here. On your exhale, unwind head, shoulders, and low back. Bringing both knees on top of the hips. If you're on the mat, if you're on the chair, inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, fold. We're putting a fold in between the twists. So once again, if you're on the mat, you can stay with where you are, hands on the hamstrings or on the shins. Maybe the chin lifts up, upper body comes off of the mat. Maybe coming into the tuck. Wherever you are in the chair or on the mat, 3 deep inhales and exhales. On your next exhale, slowly come out of the pose, keeping the knees bent if you're on the mat. Arms out in a T shape if you're on the mat. We're going to twist to the left now. So on the chair, again, wide-legged, crossing left ankle over right or left knee over right. And if you're on the mat, we're going to extend the right leg and bring the left toe to the right knee. This is a supine twist. Inhale, lift the arms up above you. And on your exhale, extend the left arm to the floor if you're on the mat. If you're on the chair, that left arm is going to come to the side or back behind you. Right hand comes to the left thigh. And the left ear comes toward the ground or toward the left shoulder. And breathe. Release the tongue if it's crept up. Just the right amount of effort. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, unwind as you come back through center, both knees on top of hips. If you're on the mat, if you're on the chair, stay in the seat. With your inhale, lift the arms back behind you or upward. And with your exhale, fold. Whatever that means. In the chair, hands can be on the thighs, below the knees. If you're on the mat, you're trying to make yourself in a tight little ball. Breathing. If you're on the chair, hold the pose as you breathe. If you're on the mat, bring the upper body down. If it's up, bring the hands to the knees, and we're going to bring a circular motion here. Making a circle. Notice you've chosen a direction as you head in the opposite direction. If you're on the chair, tuck the chin to the chest as you slowly come up one vertebra at a time. If you're on the mat, see if you can slowly roll up and down. And the next time you come up, come into a comfortable seated posture. You can sit on the chair. You can sit on the floor in hero's pose with the glutes to the heels. You can have the legs extended straight out in front of you. You can sit on a cushion, attending to self as a doctor would, giving yourself what would best serve you in the moment. Let's bring the palms in front of the heart. We'll practice 5 to 6 breaths per minute. We're going to add some movement with this today. With the eyes opened, keep your hands focused on the hands. As you inhale, the palms and the hands are going to come up. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale, bring the back of the hands together. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, press the palms, inhaling through the nostrils, lifting up. With the exhale, back of the hands come together, pointing toward the earth. Continue on your own. Equal parts inhale as you come up. Exhale. So now we are lengthening the breath. We lengthened and released the muscles. And now we're using the breath to do the same thing. Without holding the breath, inhaling, expanding, and reaching up and out. Here's effort. Exhale, releasing, coming back into ease, returning to center, returning to the earth. Continue on your own. Inhaling and exhaling through the nostrils. The posture and the breath, helping us stay in the moment. Flipping that timeline from linear, from horizontal to vertical. One more like this. And release the hands, release the conscious breathing. If you're sitting in the chair, scoot back and rest on the back of the chair. Let the hands rest with the palms flipped upward toward the heavens, toward infinite space and possibility. If you're on the mat, feel free to stay seated or come onto your back, which is more friendly for the hip and the low back. You can also come into a supported shoulder stand if you have a chair. Bringing the hip to one side, it doesn't matter which, and slowly rolling onto your back, keeping the knees bent. Once again, we are flipping the palms upward, releasing tension and pressure. Palms up in a gesture of receiving. No wasted energy here as you release the breath. Release the point in between the brow and the forehead. Release the eyes and the ears and the tongue and the sinuses. Release the tongue and the jaw. Release the back of the head, the back of the neck, the sides of the neck, the front of the neck, the pit of the throat. Release the shoulders. Release the upper back and the chest. Giving in to gravity, the body becomes heavier. Releasing the rib. Make sure you are not consciously breathing here. Let the body breathe for you. Releasing the abdominal muscles. Releasing the low back. Releasing the right hip. And releasing the left hip. Releasing the pelvic floor. And releasing the muscles of the thigh, front and back and sides. Releasing the knees and the calf muscle and the bones and muscles of the lower leg and the ankle. Releasing the feet, top of the feet, each toe, soles of the feet, and let the arms become heavy as you rest. Bringing your awareness to the physical aspect of self. Think about how hard the body works for you, carrying you around space and time. And take a moment here in gratitude for the physical aspect of self and everything that it does. Saying, thank you, body. You can rest now. And now bring your awareness to the mind that works so hard, solving and planning, anticipating, worrying, always on the ready. Take a moment here to thank your mind for all that it does for you to keep you safe, solving, processing, saying, thank you, mind, you can rest now. And finally, bring your awareness to your beautiful heart. About 100,000 beats per day without you having to do a thing. And thank your heart from your heart for working so hard. Saying, thank you, heart. You can rest now. And for the next minute, be as still and peaceful as you can. Practicing energy conservation and focus. It was a rehearsal for the rest of your day, the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year, the rest of your life. Slowly bring your awareness to the breath and begin consciously breathing in and out. Normally the breath here will feel like a slower pace. It's actually a more normal pace. If you're lying on the mat or if your feet are on the chair, slowly come to a seated posture. Bringing the hands down by the side of the body. First, notice how much energy it takes to sit. And with your next inhale, slowly circle sweep, reach the arms up. Press the palms together in front of your heart. Bow the head toward the heart. Teacher in me acknowledges and bows to and respects the teacher and the wisdom in each one of you. Namaste.